What's going on, YouTube? I'm out here working on these two mortal coils, and I just wanted to go over a couple of things. Someone in one of my videos asked if I use a back angle, and I do use a very slight back angle. And what typically I do is when I cut these blocks, figure out what the block height is for the front, I will cut basically the same block for the back, but then I will add like an 1/8 of an inch piece underneath it to give it just a little bit of lift. So when you put the neck in there, it does kind of have a very slight angle, and you can see the back here. I have the lip where the bridge is gonna go, and then it kind of tapers up. Tapers off so that the box lid fits flat. And I may have to do like a little bit of adjustment here to get this down so that that angle is just right. But that's pretty much the way I do that on these boxes. So I have two mortal coils. The necks are different. So I have one oak walnut and one walnut, I have one maple walnut, one walnut maple. And so since the necks are different, the boxes are the same, but they are going to be configured slightly different. So I have this one wired up already. I wired this up last night. I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I've got the ground wire here that needs to be connected, and I need to put the tuners on the neck. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this one. So I wanted to just give you a quick look at it, and you can see how the box is laid out, and then you can see all my layout marks. So I cut most of everything on both boxes at the same time. Now I haven't cut the marker or the hole for the volume or the switch, and that's because these necks are different also in the fact of the number of frets they have. So you see this one has actually 20 frets and this one only has 19 frets. And so what that does is that makes a difference as to where the bridge lands inside on top of the box. So the pickups are going to be in different locations. Also, I'm going to do different color pickups. So I got these two pickups here for this one, just to make it a little different. So this is MC2. And this is oh yeah, that's right. So this is MC1. So this will be the neck for this one, and you can see where the bridge is going to land. It's a little further back, so it's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, a little bit different configuration, slightly, of where these are. So I don't have the holes cut for the pickups. I'm also going to put a different jack. Probably just put one in the back here for this one. So I use these little bones here, and I'll cut them and put them right here. Even though I have the 0 fret, I'll use these as the string guide. But what I found out is since I've already oiled and coated this one, just to give the super glue best chance of sticking like it's supposed to, I scrape the coating off here with this chisel. Also, if there's any glue, squeeze out here in the corner so that it fits exactly flush up here like it's supposed to. So that's what I'm doing right now. Now, besides the fretting template, probably one of the most used templates I use is this little template right here. It's for doing the tuner locations, but also it has these marks on here. You can see the little notches. And I don't know if the notches were in. I think I put the notches in here. It's got lines on it. I can't remember, but I feel like I did. Anyway, notches on here where the strings would go. So I use that when I'm doing string through the box on here. So I'll center this up on there and I'll make my marks for the holes going through the neck. That's how I'll start that. And also, but this is where those little marks come in. So I'll just take this bone and I'm gonna use as a string guide. I put it on here and I kind of make a little mark, use that little spot right there to make a little mark on the bottom. And then I'll take this, I've already got my fret slotting saw, so it does a good job of just making a straight cut in here, and then I'll actually file it out where it's wide enough for the string gauge, you know, for the bigger string and then the medium string. So now I've got marks on this. I'll glue it on the neck. Well, I'll glue it on the neck, and then I will widen each one of these out appropriately for the string, and we'll go from there. Just so happens I have 4 of these tuners left, so I can do it either way. I can do 2 on the bottom, or 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom, or 1 on the bottom, or 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top. You know, it's up to you, however you want to do it, and you just flip it. So I always lay these out and make sure I have, you know, that I have this oriented the right way. And just if you're new to this, obviously a good way to tell is for this type of tuner, this screw hole, you want that towards the box. So that's how you know you've got it turned the right way. And what's happening here is actually, because this is towards the box, if you can imagine the string pulling on this post, which is pulling the post into the gear so that it works properly, as opposed if you put it on the other way, you could potentially be pulling this post away from the gear. So I've got it laid out. Now I know I'm going to have 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top, so I make sure I have my template oriented the right way. Now that's also an issue because I do the wings on the side. So this is made for just a straight, you know, 1.5 inch wide neck. I'll use this to get the location so that they all aligned, you know, or spaced properly. But then I will actually have to take a measurement from the end to make sure, because if I put this one in here where this line is falling, you would see that, you know, if you could imagine this was on here, you can see where it's hitting this wing. It's not gonna function properly. You're only gonna get 1/4 turn out of it either way, so that's not gonna work. So it's obviously gonna land out here. So this is what I do. I'll get this, figure out where I want it exactly. I will mark the holes, and then just, you know, double checking off of a previous guitar, but I know that it's basically 5/8 from the edge is where I want to be to the center of the hole. So I will take this, I've already set it to 5/8. I'll come over here where my circles are, and I'll make a line. And then I will use a straight edge basically to intersect these lines so that so that I know where to drill. So if you set these right on the center point, you can see now that this ear hangs over so you can work it. Same thing here, and same thing here. So now I'll cut these holes. As you can tell, I use blue painter's tape for everything. Man, I use a lot of this stuff. All right, so I got the holes drilled for the tuners. I got them on there. I eyeball them, make sure these ears are, you know, the same. And then we need to put the screws in the back. So I just take a measurement and I put a piece of painter's tape on here so I don't end up going all the way through this. That would be very bad. Go through all this work getting this neck done and then whoop. So and since this is hardwood, you need to get a good hole for the screw, otherwise you'll end up breaking it. So this just tells me, you know, I know where to stop, and I'll stop obviously well before I get to that blue, but I know I'm also got a hole that's deep enough. So I just drilled a 1/16 inch hole, and these are real tiny screws. So man, these things are sometimes hard to get started, so I will put it on the screwdriver and kind of hold it with my finger till I make sure I get it into my pilot hole, and then hopefully I don't spend too much time getting it lined up, and then I can get her in there. There you go. Finish up the rest. I know it looks weird here, but I just soldered up that ground wire, and what I'm doing here is putting a little glue on it to hold it away from this jack. So when I flip this over, then this ground wire will track the right way. What I don't want to happen is every time you plug in, you're hitting this wire and moving it around or something, you know, just taking the chance of breaking that solder joint or something like that, because it keeps getting hit every time you plug in or something. So I'll just let this dry, then I'll flip this thing over, put her together. All right, so just to give you a look at the back angle, just a very so I'm gonna take this combination square and I'm gonna set it on top of the straight edge, and I'm right behind this first pickup, and when it touches the top, so obviously that's not the height underneath, but the height onto the top, see 1, 2, 3, 1, yep, 1 inch and 7/16. So now I'm gonna reset it, and I'm gonna come back here closer to where the bridge is. Same thing, just touch the top, and it's right at 1.5 inches. So it's about a 1/16 of an inch difference from here to here. Obviously I couldn't measure up here, but you guys get the idea, and if I guess we went all the way to the back of the box, it would be almost 1/8 of an inch difference. So there is a slight back angle. That's kind of how I do all of them. It's not much of a back angle, but I think it gives just enough action up here to play and sound good. All right, this one has the plug-in on the top, 2 top of the box humbuckers, 3-way switch, nice headstock, locking tuners. It's basically blacked out. Quick sound check before we roll. Yeah, and this one plugs into the back. It's got the gold. I did change the color from when I showed this earlier in the video. But that is a quick sound check of the two new mortal coils. Man, these things are nice. So this one's got like the copper bronze look to it. Oh, wow, I didn't realize I had that hanging on there. Got the copper bronze lock and tuners. Really, really nice. Both through the box. Both have you know, top of the box humbuckers, 3-way switch, and a volume knob. Awesome guitars. All right, thanks for checking out this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out.